that not knowing what you're doing is an important part of the creative process. I've recently finished a whole series of paintings and a number of projects that I've been working on. I'm now in that space where I've got a whole series of completed things and I'm just working on what is the next thing. And I used to really not like this particular space. And now I actually really relish it in the creative cycle. I'm in that part of the creative cycle that needs a whole load of input, a whole lot of experimentation, a whole lot of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what lands. I think I've talked before about the fertile void, that we need these sort of gaps and spaces in our creative output to recharge, to refill, to reconnect with our creativity. That creativity is not a linear, steady line. It's full of peaks and troughs and dry spells and abundant spells. It has seasons where it's all flowing out of you, and then also seasons where you have to fill that creative well. So that's what I thought I would talk about in this video, how I approach the sort of in-between bit where I don't really know what I'm doing, and how I've become more confident in that not knowing, that it's just part of the process. It's just part of the creative life. In some seasons of creativity, there's a really clear and focused intent. There's clarity, there's an idea that you are pursuing with a real focused determination. And then in other parts of creativity, there's a whole lot of chaos and trying things out, exploring, collecting, seeking, and I'm in that bit. I am not in the clear, focused intention bit. I am in the scrabbling around, seeing what grabs my attention, doing lots of disparate things in the hope that they will lead me somewhere. In the belief, actually, and in the knowledge they will lead me somewhere. If I keep doing the things that I find interesting, then eventually that will take me somewhere interesting in my creativity. That is what I have found out in my creative life over the years. So I'm in that liminal, in-between, uncertain phase of my creativity. And I used to really not like this bit. And I've learnt to actually really appreciate this bit of the creative life. And I've been really leaning on my sketchbook. I've been going back through old sketchbooks. I've been really trying to notice what's calling to me, trying different materials, making collages, doing little drawings, doing little experiments. Not trying to create something important, significant or finished. Really trying to find the spark, trying to find the numerous sparks, seeing what is coming up for me in the work, what I'm noticing in my own work and in my previous work, and seeing where those breadcrumb trails lead me. So I'm in that spot where I'm trying lots of disparate ideas, and I used to think that that was me being distracted or not focused enough or disciplined enough perhaps, but now I really think that I can't rush to the idea too soon. I've kind of got to let things percolate and mix and meld, and then the idea will come. So for me, my creativity really does pendulum swing between divergent thinking and convergent thinking. And that's a term that I used to use back in the day. Years and years ago, I used to teach businesses idea generation. And one of the concepts is divergent thinking. So let me just explain what I mean by divergent thinking. Divergent thinking is basically idea generation. It's thinking out of the box. It's coming up with lots of different ways to approach a problem or different solutions to a problem. It's trying, it's mixing, it's experimenting, it's playing, it's widening the scope, it's looking at things from different angles. It's expansive. It's anything goes. And then there is convergent thinking, which is really when you are laser focused and you're narrowing the focus and you're following an idea with intent. And that's how I often think about my creativity. I go through phases where I'm just trying all sorts of things and then I'm gathering what I find interesting and then I will narrow my focus. But for me, I found not to jump to that bit too soon. I need to have all the input first. So I need to collect and curate and try things out and experiment and not know how all these disparate threads and ideas are going to connect and not try to connect them too soon. So I'm in that phase at the moment and I'm enjoying it, and I never used to enjoy it at all. I used to want to know where it was leading, and now I know I can't know where it's leading. I can't know which little experiment or which little page in my sketchbook or which little drawing is going to be the key that unlocks the door. So I've just got to trust and believe and hope that if I carry on creating, then I will find the path through. I will find the way that all these sort of disparate threads connect together. And I often find it's a combination or a connection or taking one idea from here, one material from here, one way of mark making from here, one subject matter from there, and it's the combination of these things that can surprise and delight me. And that's why I'm often trying out loads of things and leaning on my sketchbook practice just to see what is calling to me in this moment. It's like a sketchbook allows me to try loads of things out, mess about without any importance or significance, not having to create a final thing. And then I've got all these pages that I can kind of search through and go, oh, I like that. Okay, why is that calling to me? What is the connection between X and Y? And I then might create a whole body of work based on just something small that I found in my sketchbook. But I didn't know that that was going to be the thing that led me to the thing that led me to the other thing. I think particularly with maybe abstract and semi-abstract art, it needs quite a lot of hope and tenacity. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm working, I'm noticing, I'm working in my sketchbook, I'm going for walks in nature, I'm reading, I'm just gathering, collecting, and hoping that the next thing makes itself evident to me. I'm also trying quite hard to maintain my creative energy, to fill my creative well. I think there is so much going on in the world at the moment that we need to nurture and nourish and sustain our own energy to be able to face what's happening. And so there is some of that as well going on. So I think that these seasons of exploration are really essential, that they are really part of the whole. I often think this phase of not knowing is really just the sort of beginning of a creative cycle, and it's an important part of any creative cycle. So if perhaps you're in a cycle of not knowing what you're doing, don't worry, I don't know what I'm doing either. But I am creating, I am noticing, I am collecting, I am thinking, and I know that that will lead me somewhere. I think this is a place where new ideas can be born, and we just don't have to have the answers. We don't have to know what we're doing. We don't have to know where it's going to lead us. We just have to stay in momentum and connection with our creativity. And for me, that's what I do in my sketchbook. It's such a valuable way to stay connected and to stay in conversation with my own creativity. It's an ongoing creative conversation, and I can pick up the threads at any point. I can just go back into my sketchbook and find something that is there waiting for me, and that is really interesting and powerful. I mean, part of being a creative person is understanding what fills our own well, what depletes us, the cycles that we go through, the things that we have to do to feel more creative, to be more creative. There's a lot of self-reflection and learning, I think, in being a creative human. So I just thought I'd share what I'm thinking about at the moment. I hope it's in some way interesting for you. Thank you so much for watching along, for being here, for being so lovely. I wish you every success with your own creativity and with your own creative cycles, ups and downs, round and rounds.